Hey y'all, so today I'm going to show you how I am going to use a recycled purse to make my journal cover. So this here was a reversible purse. One side was this brown and the other was a black color. And I've already cut the bottom off here so it can be relatively even, and I'm going to use this velour, I guess that's what it is, velour, as the inside cover. This is still a little bit sticky, but before I do that, I am going to show you how to thread your machine. So the and this is for a top loader. I do have a side loader, and I don't know how to load the bobbin in the side loader, but you just drop it in so the thread is towards you. If you put it so the thread is away from you, the thread will break. So you just drop it in with the thread facing you, and then pull it around that and pull it off, cut it off. And then you put that in there. My sewing machine actually has an option. I don't know how well you can see that. This is where this is the part you use. Let me bring you a little bit closer. This is what you use to put the thread on the bobbin. And then I have this here, which is where the thread goes, but I also have one of these nifty little things that sits on top of that thread, that bobbin winder, so you have an option of your thread being straight up or at an angle. I don't like using the angle only because it usually ends up catching that little notch right there that holds the thread so you can find it when you're not using it. So this time the thread goes away from you, and then you just put it in through here, pull it down, pull it back up, and pull it back down again. I don't know how well you can see this, but I happen to have an automatic threader, which I don't know why they call it an automatic threader, because it's not automatic. But when you put your thread through this piece here, there's a little hook right there that you put the thread under, and then pull it off to the side. And then you push down the lever, and when you push it down, you push it over, and you have to make sure that, see, it didn't work. So there's these two little things that come out like this, and it's double, and you need to have the thread go in between that so it can get into the eye. So let's see. It took me a long time to figure out how to do that. There we go. And then I just used my seam ripper to pull that out and pull it through. Okay. So now that that's done, we're gonna go here. Actually, I'm gonna put this down first. Gonna put this down first because this is like jersey knit velour, and then I'm going to put this over top of it, and that way I know exactly where it's gonna be. And like I said, since it was reversible, it is still a little bit sticky on that one side, so I don't have to worry about using any basting glue or anything to cut it off. Okay. And this side is a little bit sticky too, so what I'll do with that is when I'm done putting it together, I'm going to use a baby wipe to clean that up. But meantime, I'm going to use my fabric scissors just to cut around the edge of this so I can see what's going on. And generally I make my journals 9x6, because when you fold a regular size 8.5 by 11 piece of paper in half, it fits directly in there without you having to cut or fold any pages, and yeah, it just makes it a lot easier. So we're just going to cut all this off here, and you don't have to be perfect about this because the edges are going to be cut as well anyway, because we're going to make this into a 9x6, but we're going to give enough room for a spine there. Okay, so let's see how big this is. I'm going to flip it over this way. Okay, so this is like 15 and a half, a little more than 15 and a half by 13. So because we got this going on right here, this was the bottom of the purse, I am going to, how am I going to do that? So I want this side here to be the 9, let's see, yeah. No, I want this way to be the 6 inches and this way to be the 9 inches, only because this is where the handle used to be, and you can see that there's holes in there. So let me think about this for a second. Okay, it can't go that way, so it has to go the other way. It has to go this way. So I'm going to, you know what? I don't know if this thing right here will actually work, but let me push that stuff out of the way and see if I can get that mat straight. So I have one of these handy dandy little things, and I am going to, let's see. Where's my roller? Okay, let's see. So if that's 13 and I need 9, and this is about okay. So I'm going to straighten this up as much as possible, and I am going to cut at the very tip of where those holes are. And I did use one of the black pieces for a different journal, and I don't remember if this is how I did it or not. Did that work? No. No. Okay, so maybe I use this. Always make sure that you put that back when you're done with it. Okay, so we're just going to, did that work? No. That worked. Okay. 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 And we're going to clean all that edge up later, so I'm just going to show you the out. Okay, so let's see. You know what would work even better is if I had a marker. And so we're going to make this 9 inches, and that's right here. And so since this thing wasn't cutting it, I'm sure that I probably need a new blade in there. So we're going to go ahead and use this. Oh. Did I screw that up? Yeah, I went out of the lines a little bit there, but that's okay. It'll just give it that warm look. Okay, and let's see how, what do we have here? This is, okay, so it's crooked, So what we're going to do is just make these edges straight, and I'm going to pull it as close to this line as possible because it's the other end that's crooked, and then get it off. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And now for this side. So you want to give enough room to have a spine there, and 6 inches folded. Okay, so that's going to give us a good spine if we want a little chunky monkey in there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut this side, and let me turn it back over. We're going to cut this side, and we're just going to make this edge even, and then that way we will have a decent size spine width. This forward as close to gonna pull as close to me as possible and make sure that this is in my center so I can see exactly what I'm doing. I like a zigzag, the decorative zigzag stitch. So on this particular machine it's 20, and I used a gold colored thread that is very similar to this color right here. So, let me see. Okay, I want this to be my center. I mean, my bottom. And so I'm going to start there. And I'm going to line this edge up with the edge of this here. And this particular machine has an up-down needle. I use that as much as possible, just because if I don't, then I usually end up losing the thread out of it, and then I have to rethread it. So here we go. When I get to the corner, I stop and I lift up my lever to pull up my foot, and I did go a little bit too far, so I'm just gonna go at an angle until I get, oh, my thread broke, darn it. Okay. Okay, yeah, the thread probably broke. Oh, and you never want to pull it out that way, but now that I did that, it's too late because it's going to get stuck. Okay. Here we go, let's do this again. Okay. Make sure you use the back side of that so you don't wear that thread out a little bit, so it will break again. And the reason I start here is because that's going to be the center, and then that's where I want the threads to hang down. So since it broke, we're going to put that at the edge, and we're going to put that needle down over top of where we already were. And because this is so thick, I kind of have to push it through to make sure that it goes, even though the feed dogs is what will usually make it go, but this is kind of thick. And so I did that just because I wanted to see how far away I was, and just a couple more stitches. Now it brings me to the edge of the fabric again. And I want that to be as crisp and close as possible because this is going to be my front. So a couple more stitches and then we're right there. Okay, and this particular stitch will not do a back stitch, so I'm going to put it on just a regular straight stitch, and I'm going to go forward and backward just enough to lock in that thread. And I do have a thread cutter on the back here, so I just pick it up and cut it off. Okay. You can keep these threads, you can cut these threads, it's all your preference. I normally keep the threads hanging, but this particular one, I don't want them hanging. I want it to be a little bit neater and cleaner edge there, so I'm going to cut those off. Okay, and there's that. So this is I don't know where I stopped. We're gonna have to clean that up a little bit, but okay, so this is where our thread broke, and so this is gonna be our front. And it is about 7.5 inches wide, and so we're gonna be able to get a 3-inch spine out of that. I don't remember what I did to the other one to make these edges nice and pretty. So for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and clean that edge up, and then maybe see if I need to bind that edge with some other fabric. Almost like you would bind a quilt. Because this velourish, like this velour fabric is not going to fray, but this edge is a little bit uneven because I accidentally cut that with my rotary cutter, and so I'm just going to take this and clean it up just a little bit there. I might have to go back with my rotary cutter on that just to make sure that it's an even edge. Because right now I don't think that's even. But because this is handmade, it really doesn't matter, does it? Right? The imperfections of handmade items is what gives it its beauty. Yeah, that's not even square. Or it's not even completely rectangle. But there you go. Now all you need to do is add some signatures. And dear Julie's latest digital kit is, I forget what it's called Golden Backgrounds, I think. And those papers will look really good with this coloring here. Okay, I hope you enjoyed what you saw. When I figure out how to keep those edges so this doesn't separate, I will come back and show you what I did. So please like, subscribe, and share, and leave me a comment and let me know what you thought. If there's anything in particular that you would like me to make, also you can leave that in the comments below, and we will learn how to do it together. Have a great day. See you next time.